What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. So guys, today I'm talking about OnlyFans. And of course, we know OnlyFans has always been around the last 5 to 10 years. But really, when COVID-19 happened, a lot of us benefited, especially content creators. The rise of Kevin Samuels happened in around that time. I started doing very well around that time. And then also OnlyFans creators started doing well. Before, OnlyFans was pretty much for ladies who wanted to do, booty clapping sounds, right? But then we started seeing the major celebrities get on OnlyFans, and then it was a lot of money. One of those people that got on OnlyFans and made a lot of money was Blac Chyna. Now, allegedly, Blac Chyna was one of the richest people on OnlyFans. And she launched her OnlyFans in 2020, charged a monthly subscription rate of $19.99. And she made allegedly, I don't know how true this is, $20 million per month, making her the top earning creator on the platform. That's what they say, all right? But recently she had a podcast with Jason Lee, and she said that she's quit the site. I guess after making $240 million, I would quit too, right? But she said this: I'm on OnlyFans so I can support the music because the stuff is not cheap at all. Getting studio time, engineers, wardrobe, marketing. I'm using all these different hustles to support that and my kids. That's the ultimate goal, to keep up their living how they're living now. I don't want to be that parent where they have this now, then when they get older, they don't have it. I'm a single black female supporting my kids. I don't get any child support. So I have all these things like Blac Chyna's Closet, the Dynasty Group, my music, the OnlyFans, Lash Cosmetics, promos to do for the people, other companies to keep my household together. And you know what? I do not begrudge her for working for what she wants. I think that's great. It's the American way. American way is about ownership. It's about working hard. It's about being talented, and it's about maximizing the opportunity. Lord knows I have nothing against people like that. I would want to talk about something if I could, though, and that is this. Here's what I want to talk about. Why is it that in our community, when people dig themselves into a hole, we applaud them as they dig themselves out? And we notice that with women, okay? Now, I want to talk about this. This is important. A woman becomes a single mom. She's a single mom, right? I'm a single mom. My kids are X, Y, and Z. I need to do X, Y, and Z for my kids. I need to hustle for my kids. We start saying all kind of stuff. Oh, happy Women's Day to all the single moms out there and everything like that. You know what? They don't need no man. They're successful in all this, all kind of stuff, right? And then when these ladies, and again, I have no problem with that, but when we have single women that don't make it or they're not successful, then we look for all the other reasons like, oh, there's misogyny that is keeping women from being successful. Or there are other things like racism. The government isn't supporting single women and single moms. And then when you look at these other communities that are successful in America, like Nigerian Americans, mostly Jewish Americans, what are some of the things that we see coming from these particular groups? What we see coming from these particular groups is these people are largely married. They're largely educated. They don't have, let's say, 3 kids by 3 different guys. Okay? Now, are you going to have women out there that can do that and beat the odds? Absolutely. You're going to be able to have women that have those situations and beat the odds. I'm not here to tell you that you're not going to get it, because you will see it. But what about those who have those situations and then they don't beat the odds? What about those? What about those? What about those women who don't beat the odds? And they feel like, well, because Blac Chyna did it, so I can do it. So now what I may need to do, depending on my skill set in vulnerability, is I need to go to OnlyFans. I need to go out here and hustle. And we think that's the great way to do things in America. We applaud that. What we never applaud is, women and families who do that It's almost normal everywhere else in the world. You see? And when women want to make the choices that I don't want a man, I don't want to be married, but I got to hustle because I don't have a man. Did you ever really want to be married though? Like, that's the thing. Like, did you want to ever be in a situation where you actually had a good husband? Did you ever select a man that wanted to be your husband? Or did you select men based on the fact that, you felt like they had clout and that clout would help you get to where you need to be? And so you wanted to have these babies because that was your way of getting on. And it was sort of selfish. Because everybody she has baby by is either Black Tiger's one of the guys. Then there's Rob Kardashian. So did you ever want to put your kids in that environment where they would actually know their dad or live with their dad and come up in a 2-parent home? And what I'm seeing is a lot of times you don't see that. You don't see a lot of ladies that come up in that situation where they're like, you know what? We want our child to come up in this situation where they would have this experience. You just don't get that. It's always like, okay, I don't want to be married at all. And then when you don't have the support, or like you had a babies, whatever, right? Then some guy either doesn't want to be a husband for you or something like that. Well, you know what? I gotta do what I gotta do for my kids. But why was that your position in the first place? Why was that your position in the first place? Why are ladies not seeing any value in having long-term relationships with men? Because if they did, you would see it in their behavior. And I'm not saying all, I'm talking about these women that make these positions. Why don't you have that, sort of attitude? And it's only fair to the kid. I see so many ladies that have these kids, that have children. And then when the kid is not coming up in the right environment, or the kid can't be competitive at all, everything is just so problematic. And then you hear the infamous words, well, you know what? I did the best that I could. I did the best I could do. And then you hear that and you think about, well, if a man says that, it's not acceptable. No man could ever say, I did the best I could, and people accept it. They just don't, right? So, but what you're seeing is, I'm having these children for me, and not that I want to give these kids a better life. And who suffers from it more in America? These kids suffer the most ever. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Produce for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.